Hey everyone, I think we have action. I think we're live. It says it's showtime, so let's get the show on the road. Thanks everyone for joining me tonight. We are going to talk a little bit about something that a lot of people don't want to talk about, and I think we need to bring it to the forefront of everybody's mind and not be afraid to talk about it. So I'm just going to pull this up here and say a little something that we all need to discuss. So if you are joining me for the first time and you've never caught one of my lives before, up above there's a little heading there. It says StreamYard, and you might just have to give it permission so that I can see your comments pop up on my page and your little profile picture. And if you want to sit in the background and just enjoy and take in all the information that I'm going to pass along to you, that is perfectly fine and dandy with me. I'm streaming in two places here and on two pages. And so thank you for joining my community today, where I try and create a healthier you through coaching, mentorship, and accountability on my fitness page. And I also have an e-commerce business where I assist other struggling network marketers, MLM, digital business owners, social shoppers, e-commerce, whatever you want to refer to yourself. I teach them how to reach their full potential through attraction marketing skills and education in social media and live video, just like we're doing here, and what to post and when to post and how to post to attract the best audience to you. So thank you very much. My name is Heather Edmondson, if we have not met before. And we are going to have a little bit of fun tonight and discuss some kind of hard issues for some people to discuss. So hopefully you don't take any offense, and hopefully you can have some takeaways and gain a little bit of knowledge. So I'm going to talk about the seasonal affective disorder. It's also called SAD. That is happening right now for a lot of people, myself included. And here I'm coming at you live here from Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada, so Western Canada, and we are just going into our darkest part of the year, darkest part of the season into December here for us. And I find myself and a lot of people that I am surrounded with are affected by this seasonal affective disorder, and it brings in to part and parcel to play with depression and sadness and all those kinds of things. So we need to be respectful, and we need to listen to people when they are saying and reaching out that they need assistance or they need some kind of help with this. There's all kinds of strategies that you can use to help you through this difficult season. And then on top of all of this sadness that we might be having is all the stipulations that are being put in place now with the restrictions for all this virus that's going on. And that can be hard too, because let's face it, we're social beings and we like to be around people, and we need that human contact, and we need that human interaction. And when we're not getting that, either through a physical Zoom like this or actual physical contact with one human and another, it's pretty hard to do when we have to be 6 feet apart and only be in our little bubble of whoever's in our own home. Can't even be with our own family. It's almost harder that all of my kids and grandkids and their spouses are all in town where we live, and we're not supposed to be around them either because they're only supposed to be in their social bubble. So that's a little bit hard too. I said it would almost be easier if we lived far apart and then we couldn't be together because of the distance. So that might have been an easier thing to take. So a lot of this happens, like I'm saying, especially people that have any kind of tendency to have any kind of mental health issues, some kind of depression, and the more darkness and the shorter that the days get, more of this becomes apparent. And it is mostly brought in to response of our body reacting to the lack of sunlight in our lives right now. So like I said, I've struggled with this myself. This time of year, it was even worse when we lived further north and we had shorter spaces of sunlight in the day. And when I was a stay-at-home mom with our 4 little ones, and my husband would go out to work, and we had snow up to our eyeballs, and those types of things, I really struggled with it. I was also probably a little bit of postpartum in there, and we had no family support around when we were that far away from everybody. So it is a true thing. It really does happen. And like I said, even in the stress of the holiday season, a lot of people have been out of work because of all this sickness. A lot of people suffer with this in the seasonal affective disorder anyway, and then you add on all the stress of everything else that's going on right now in the society. So that's a tough one. So I'm going to share, I think I have 8 8 or 9 different little things here that signs that you can recognize that you may be suffering with the seasonal affective disorder and what it can lead to. So like I said, welcome again to my pages, and hopefully you can gain some takeaways from this. And my hubby, every time he pops up on my screen, he pops up as me. So it is just weird. 6 feet apart is better than 6 feet under. And yes, it is for sure. So thank you for popping in here, Polly. Even though you pop up as me. So I can't be me texting into my live. That's him upstairs. So it's just weird, right? Okay, so number one thing is a sign of what to look for, or something that you can be aware of, is oversleeping or insomnia. So those can both be indications that you may have a seasonal affective disorder going on. Oversleeping is excessive time sleeping, and it's called hyperinsomnia. So it can also be brought on by obstructive sleep apnea. And hyperinsomnia can be in the different stages that you have in your sleep cycle. So it could be the falling asleep stage, or it could be like staying awake stage. So this can also be when a major depression will set in. So that is like the insomnia coming on. The insomnia can also be from all the stress that we might be going through. It could be from heart failure, chronic pain, menopause, side effects from medications that you maybe are on, excessive amounts of caffeine that you are maybe ingesting before it is time to go to bed, and of course the use of all of our electronic devices. And if you can unlock or put away those devices at least an hour before you're trying to gear down and actually go into your natural sleep cycle, you can have some benefits of getting through some of this a little bit easier. Number 2 is fatigue or lethargy. Gradual feelings of tiredness resolved by getting the amount of rest is what the actual definition of fatigue is. And there can be 2 different types of fatigue. There can be a physical fatigue from you working out and being like, say, somebody that's a long distance runner and has burnt out their muscles. So that's a physical fatigue. But there can also be the mental fatigue. And we are dealing a lot of mental fatigue right now, with all of us being bombarded by all of the stressors that are out there. And myself as a nurse, all the stuff that we have to take in and try and do on the computer to accommodate all of the clients that we look after is also mental fatigue on us. Or you're just trying to put out fires of people that, or their families that are having stress over maybe putting their family member in and moving them from their own home into a care facility. And then they're worried about the care facilities and all the outbreaks and stuff that are in there. So there's a lot of mental fatigue trying just to deal with that on a daily basis. And that's kind of what I do in my job as a nurse. So both fatigue and lethargy can be noted in people suffering with depression, of course, the SAD, the seasonal affective disorder, nutritional deficiencies, improper absorption in your gut, infection, hyperthyroidism, just to name a few of the different things that can contribute to the fatigue and lethargy. If you can't seem to get enough rest, please do consult your physician or your doctor or your naturopath or whomever it is that you consult, and just make sure that you're on track to maybe getting some kind of help that you might be in need of. So number 3 is either overeating or a decreased appetite. So overeating, of course, we all know what that is. It's consuming large portions of food for extended periods of time and can lead to eating disorders, and it can also be the effects of SAD, so the seasonal affective disorder. So, and then the flip side of that coin is the anorexia, which is extreme weight loss, and we refer to that in a medical term, even when somebody has been diagnosed with an illness and they lose weight rapidly, that is putting them into an anorexia type mode. But anorexia, for most people out in the public, the general public, know it as an eating disorder, but it can also be an effect of the seasonal affective disorder. So, and it can go from an eating disorder, it can come from a fever, an infection, depression, or disease, like I said, can cause you to have that rapid weight loss. So it's not necessarily just from not eating enough. It could be effects of all these other things. So number 4, suicidal ideation. So what that is thoughts of suicide. And if somebody is kind of obsessing over suicidal thoughts, they're preoccupied with those types of thoughts, we need to be able to identify that that is happening. We need to, if it's happening to us, we need to try and break that thought pattern and reach out for help, because it is so important. I don't know why mental health and people suffering with any kind of thing like this, like the SAD part of it, the depression or mood disorders or personality disorders, can lead to you believing that the only way to escape some of this pain that you are suffering with is to have this suicidal thoughts pattern, and that's not a healthy place to be in. And people will say, well, why would that person have done that at that time? But they are not in a good mind, good headspace, and that is why they believe that that was the only way out. And please be open and willing to listen to people when they do ask for help and they do want someone to talk to. Please be a kind ear and listen to them, and hopefully you can seek out the help that they need. We all need to be a little bit more respectful of people and not beat them down so much when they are suffering with something, and be a true friend and a confidant for that person. And don't, if somebody does share something personal like that is going on in their life, please don't be a gossip and spread it all around. Be the person that will reach out and get the help for them that they need. So please be there for them. So number 5 is social isolation. And we see this a lot in people that have been maybe moved into a care home, people that have are being socially isolated anyways right now with all of the sickness going on. It might be social isolation happening not willingly. It might be happening from all the circumstances that are happening around us. Not being able to go to these activities is kind of a withdrawing from activities. And then maybe, like I said, it's not something that they wanted to happen in the first place. But when somebody goes through a part in their mind and they are in crisis, or they are suffering through domestic violence or health concerns, maybe a loss of a family member, maybe it's the unemployment that's happening right now. It could throw them into a depression, or it could be maybe just their body aging, and then they are maybe losing some of their friends that are around the same age group as them, and then they end up being socially isolated just because they don't have anybody to interact with. And like I said, all of us not being able to interact with even our social circle right now is a very hard thing. So just be aware of that. That can throw you into this seasonal affective disorder as well. So number 6, decreased in libido. So your lack of desire to have any sexual activity can be a huge thing right now. You might have low self-esteem. You might have a poor body image. You might have mental health issues and anxiety. And of course, this seasonal affective disorder. You might have a history of abuse, or a history of a negative sexual experience, and then it all throws all of that stuff into the mix, and you end up with all kinds of things going on here. So number 7, andronia. Andronia is a reduced ability to be motivated and experience pleasure due to lack of the prefrontal cortex in your brain. And that's a symptom of sometimes from a major depression, or, like I said, a seasonal affective disorder or personality disorders. Sometimes it's brought on by substance abuse or psychological disorders. Anything like that can bring on some of these things. So number 8 is unpleasant feeling. So maybe, like I said, you're having these unhealthy images of yourself, and you go into that anxiety, or you go into being a grumpy person. Those are some unpleasant feelings that you might be experiencing. And it should be a red flag to maybe that you are suffering from some of these seasonal affective disorders. So number 9 is agitation and difficulty concentrating. How many of us are finding right now with computer work that we have to do, or you come downstairs to grab something from the pantry and you're like, okay, what the heck did I come down here for? And then you have to go back upstairs and you have to stand where you were and you go, okay, that's what it was. I mean, that's part of aging too. But if you're having that and it's becoming larger and larger and you're forgetting more and more stuff, then maybe it is an indication that you are suffering from something like this seasonal affective disorder. And number 10 for today is a huge part of it is anxiety. So you've got an inner turmoil in yourself, and you unnecessarily worry about things that haven't even happened, and consequences of things that are coming up, but you don't know how people are going to react. Or if somebody doesn't return your message right away, then you right away jump into all of these conclusions that, oh, they're blocking me, or they're they don't want to do this with me, and they don't want to be included. They don't want me to be included in what they're doing. Maybe pacing back and forth, maybe a bunch of muscle tension. Those are all great examples of what seasonal affective disorder, some of the symptoms can be. And I have found that if you get out and get a little bit of exercise in a day, get your blood moving through your system. I meant to bring it downstairs. I have a little light that I put beside me during the day, and actually bought it for my father when he was going through what was called sundowners. And so as that person moved into the evening, they would get all agitated and stuff. And that light, it's called a happy light. Some people call it a happy light. You can get them in like a little, almost like a cell phone size. You can put on your desk or put in your bathroom when you're getting ready in the morning, those kinds of things. And it gives direct sunlight towards your face, and your brain absorbs that. And then you can feel better about yourselves, and you can have a happier mood. And like I said, getting that oxygen moving around in your blood from doing some kind of exercise is very helpful. And trying to get out, even if it's stinking cold out, getting a sniff of fresh air can also clear your head. So hopefully you gained some takeaways from that. Oh, thank you. So this is the little light that I have. I don't know if you can see that. This is the little light that I have. I don't have it plugged in, but it's got two different settings, a higher one and a lower one. And like I said, you can get smaller ones that are about the size of hopefully it doesn't fall, about the size of a cell phone. And those people can carry them around in their backpacks or their purses or anything like that. And then they have it with them so that they can use it whenever they need. So hopefully you gained some takeaways from that. And hopefully you're having yourself a good day today. And we will catch you all again tomorrow for Friday, Freaky Friday. Maybe I should do it Freaky Friday. Thanks everyone for participating today. For all of you who have jumped in here live with me, and for all of you on the replay, do let me know where it is that you're coming in from. I do appreciate to find out the far reaches of the internet. So have yourselves a wonderful day, and take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.